Welcome to the Week 9 edition of the Sharp Pick. I'm Jordan Sharp. Week 8 was a crazy mixture of underdogs cashing and road teams covering. The Week 9 lines are already up and they are looking pretty inviting, so without further ado, let's dive right in. I've been openly disappointed with the Thursday night games up until this point this season, and it doesn't get any better this week. With the NBA coming back, it looks like they'll be garnering my attention on Thursday evenings. This week, the Chargers host the Chiefs on a short week, and the two teams are already underwhelming as it is, so seeing them on a short week should double up on how underwhelming they in fact are. The line opened up in favor of the Chargers -9, and while I think the line has little value, I think the under might have some at 43. Coming off their big blowout win of the Saints, the Broncos go on the road this week to face the Bengals. Cincy was off in Week 8, and they come in as a +3 home underdog to the Broncos. Denver has been shaky on the road this season. However, people are initially jumping on them, and it worries me a little bit because I think the books might be setting a trap for us here, seeing as the Broncos have been shaky on the road opposed to at home. So right now, I think you should lay off this line until you see it move one way or the other. The Cardinals are a +11 underdog against the Packers this week, and I can already tell you that line is going to travel northward. Green Bay did not look great against the Jags this week. However, they should have a much easier look against Arizona this week. We'll look for this line to settle close to 2 touchdowns. The Lions are only a -4 favorite in Jacksonville this weekend. The Lions seem to figure some stuff out this past weekend, beating a tough Seahawks defense down the stretch. And while I'm not sure about where this line's going to go, for instance, I do initially like the Lions here at -4. It could be close. However, I think the Lions are starting to play a little bit more to form as what we saw them playing closer to the end of last season. Baltimore travels down to Cleveland to face their divisional rival this weekend, and they are only a -3.5 favorite. Now, the Ravens do have a lot of injuries, and the Browns did have a good win against the Chargers this weekend due to that weather. Rookie sensation Trent Richardson has been running all over the place, and it looks like his rib injury is done with. He went for 122 yards this past week against a tough Chargers defense, so I think a value bet on the Browns might be in order. The Bills are a +10 underdog against the Houston Texans this weekend in Houston. They were both off on Week 8, so they had a lot of time to rest and prepare, and normally in this situation I would like the underdog. However, this spread, and due to the fact that the spread's pretty large, however, the Bills are one of the most unpredictable teams against the spread this season and straight up in general. So I think I'm laying off this spread entirely. The Bears are only a -3.5 favorite on the road in Tennessee this weekend to face the Titans, and I don't care if I'm square at all by saying this, but I absolutely love the Bears. I don't know how they're only a -3.5 favorite. They did have a pretty shaky game against the Panthers and barely escaped with a win. However, I think that was more due to the Panthers playing a lot well, other than the fact that the Bears' offensive line played like crap the first half of the game. I know my early lean is the Bears -3.5 this weekend. Speaking of the Panthers, they are on the road in our nation's capital this weekend, and they are a +4 underdog against the Redskins. I don't know what to think about this game. On one hand, you have Cam Newton and the Panthers offense that looked pretty good at times against the Bears last week. However, you have the Redskins, who not only are their defense as bad as the Panthers, their offense looked pretty bad as well. So right now, I think I'm laying off that spread. The Steelers are a +3.5 underdog on the road against the Giants this weekend, and already the majority of the money has come in on New York. This is a tough number to deal with, and while both teams are playing well, I think you have to lay off this line entirely due to the fact that it is at 3.5. Finally, Sunday evening will be the Cowboys on the road as a +5 underdog in Atlanta. The Falcons are still undefeated after a convincing win against the Philadelphia Eagles over the weekend, and Atlanta will now face their second straight NFC East opponent. The line opened earlier at -7 and now has dropped all the way to -2, even though a majority of the bets are on the Falcons. So I'm a little stuck on this one right now. I like Atlanta, however, it is a little scary at the moment due to the early line movement, so I'd suggest laying off until you see it continue to move one way or the other. That'll do it for the Monday edition of the Sharp Pick. Make sure you check back daily for my blog updates on all the up-to-date line movement, as well as Friday, where we will recap Week 9's movement in review. Until then, for SBR Forum, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been the Sharp Pick.